I'm Jen.
And I'm Nick.
We live and love in Ottawa.
We know that feeding a family of 4 can be tough.
So we put together some of our favorite
and affordable
recipes to keep everyone smiling.
Grab a seat at our table and enjoy
our frugal family meal. Green salads are a staple in our household, but sometimes it's hard to get our kids to eat anything green. So if we pair it with a tasty dressing, like Caesar, they'll eat it. So I'm just gonna get the egg yolks here and put them in our food processor. Anchovies, the highlight of the dressing. 2 garlic cloves. Fresh lemon juice, always. Dijon mustard, you can use regular Dijon or grainy. Lots of Parmesan cheese. Normally we would make the salad with romaine lettuce, but today, because we have grown a lot of kale in our garden, we're using that and combining it with some Brussels sprouts for a nice texture combination. I'm just gonna put the lid on and stream in some oil. That should be good. Needs just a bit more pepper and a dash of salt. How's that kale?
It is all done. I think maybe it's time for a cocktail.
Yes, please. What are you making?
Today it's going to be a Dark and Stormy. Now we're going to be doing this with dark rum, take the rum of your choice, and ginger beer. Now we're also going to do the kid-friendly version. Instead of giving them rum, we're going to be using some pineapple juice. Let's get started. About 2 ounces of dark rum. And then some ginger beer. Now, ginger beer is quite different than ginger ale, of course. It's a lot more
gingery.
Yes, I was going to say piquant. So now that's ours. Let's make the kid version. We're going to be doing a little bit of pineapple juice. Now, my little take on this is, since I'm making some for the kids and I already have the pineapple juice open, I'm going to make sure I give ours a little hit as well, just to give my special spin on it.
Too bad we didn't have leftover pineapple to garnish it with.
Grilled pineapple can make a fantastic dessert. And what's a drink without a little garnish? How's that salad coming, honey?
It's good. I think we can grab the croutons off the barbecue. So these have been toasting on the barbecue for about 10 or 15 minutes at 400, nice and golden brown, super crispy. We just used leftover bread that we had. So this is ciabatta with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning.
That's what we did this time. It's a great way to use up stale bread, especially if you buy in bulk to try to save a little bit of money.
So in goes our dressing. Now for any type of kale salad, it's very important that you massage the kale. Otherwise it can be quite
Tough.
Rather
firm.
Yes. So don't be afraid to get your hands a little bit dirty when it comes to kale. And you just want to massage all the ingredients together.
And time for the croutons. Croutons tends to be one of our children's favorite part of the salad, and so we're gonna go all in, I think. Are we, Jen?
Might as well.
And there we are.
And I'll just finish it off with a little Parmesan cheese. Thank you.
Cheers. That's pretty good.
Thank you. Perfect start to a summer dinner. Cheers.
Cheers.
Whew.
Dances on the taste buds a little. In the spring, the flowers bloom, but in the summer, we do a bloomin' onion. Our 9-year-old loves onions. He eats them raw for fun. But this is a way that we can enjoy onions together. So you can see here, it opens up like a bit of a petal. Now, this is why it's so important to have a good sharp knife. So this way, it'll cut through and it can open up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the dredging of this, and I can see you've got something going on.
Yeah, I'm just making some spicy ketchup to go with that blooming onion. So I've started with some onions and garlic that I've chopped in, put in this pot with some olive oil. So they've just been sweating for a little bit. So I like my ketchup rustic style. So it's sort of like a salsa, but it's hot. So I'm gonna add to this some nutmeg and some cloves. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of brown sugar and some white vinegar until the sugar melts. How's the dredging?
It's dreadful. No, it's quite good so far, actually. I'm just getting this good and floury. I'm gonna leave it in the flour while I get the wet going next. So to make sure that I got some extra flavor in here, I've added some garlic powder and some smoked paprika. Depending on how much you like your spice, you can use a hot paprika. I like the deepness of a smoked one myself.
I'm actually gonna steal some of your paprika for the ketchup. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
So I have a nice boil here now on my sugar and vinegar mixture. So I'm gonna add canned tomato sauce. And just a scoop of tomato paste just to thicken it up a little bit. And I'll just give that a stir. So that's good. That will just simmer now for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, let's see you finish this onion, Nick.
So to 2 beaten eggs, I'm just gonna add some milk. Now, once I get that in here, I'll give it another little stir. Now this combined with the flour that the onion's already been in will create a bit of a paste. Some people like to put it in the freezer for a little bit, just to have it firm up. I'm a little impatient, or at least maybe my kids are. And so what I'll do is I'm gonna put it directly into the oil that I've got preheated here. So this oil I've got here, I've got heated to just over 375. Once I drop the onion in, it's gonna drop the temperature anyway. Having a large pot of oil is good because the oil will be able to retain the temperature and heat better. So we've got this dredged right now, and I'm just gonna get a little bit more of the egg mixture into the center of the onion. One last flouring, and then into the oil we're gonna go.
Glad you're doing this and not me. It's so delicate.
Now the oil is nice and hot, so you don't want to put it in directly with your hands, because you could burn yourself, so it's always recommended that you use a utensil. Now we're using a spider, and then you can see that the oil is ready by the way that it's boiling. We're going to just lower that down gently. And here we are.
This I'm excited to try.
Ladies first. Definitely a finger food.
Really good. Okay.
Pizza is one of the all-time favorites in our household. We make it regularly. Sure, you can order in, but at $30, $40 a pop for a family, it's much cheaper to make it yourself. And the ingredients are something that we always have at home as well too. Flour, sugar, yeast, salt, and then flavorings. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this started. Yeast, I've already pre-measured a cup worth of flour into the bowl. I'm going to give that a bit of a stir, just a pinch of salt. And there we are. Stir that up with the fingers. Now, if you don't like to get dirty, you don't need to worry about that. You can just use a wooden spoon. It's not a problem. Into a cup of flour, we're going to add half a cup of water into the middle here, a little bit of a well. And just a drizzle of oil. Now, while I mix this up, Jen, what are you going to keep yourself busy with?
I am frying our sausage for the adult pizza topping. So I'm just using a mild Italian sausage, which I have removed from the casing, and I'm just cooking until done.
One of the best things about making your own pizza dough is you get to add your own flavors. We're doing an Italian mix here. Some basil, some oregano, a little bit of rosemary, not too much. I find it goes well with sausage. And a little bit of margarine as well too. There we are. And we're just gonna mix this up. Now, if you have any other flavors that you'd like to include, you certainly can. Now, one of the things that we're doing right now is we're mixing this up for later because we have a dough that we already prepared earlier. How's the sausage coming?
It's almost done.
And I can see you've got some basil cut as well too.
Yep.
Is that a nice chiffonade I see?
Thanks.
So I'm just gonna go get the dough that I started earlier and we'll be able to see the difference. One moment. So this is the dough that I prepared earlier. You can see a huge difference. So this is a dough that hasn't risen at all. Whereas this dough here, you can see that there's little air pockets that have started. You can also see too that I didn't do a full mixing job, and that's all right. Because whenever I go to knead the dough to be able to roll it out, you'll be able to notice the difference and it'll incorporate back in. So I can see you're already ready and waiting for me, aren't you?
Yep.
Want to help?
Sure.
All right. So while you flour your work area, I'll just peel this out. You can see here it's a great dough because of how well it wants to stick. There. There you go. Now I'm going to let you have my rolling pin because I love you so much and to make it a little easier. And I'm going to do it the old-fashioned hand way.
I'm making two out of this?
We're just going to do one long one. So we'll do one for us and one for the kids. Okay. So you can see here that you don't need a rolling pin, you can just use your hands. Now, because this dough's been sitting for a while, it's easy enough to work. If we'd used the one that we just made, we'd have to work it a lot harder, and it wouldn't be as soft when we go to eat it. Usually when you're making bread and you're proofing it, you want to have it set a few times for proofing, just to be able to relax the dough as you work the gluten. We're going to be using the barbecue to be able to grill this off. Now you can, depending on your dough, put it directly on the grill if you have a strong enough dough, or you can have pizza stones. We know that is perfect, Jen. I'm gonna play a little ketchup here with you as always. Now our kids like a plain pizza, just a little bit of sauce and a little bit of cheese.
And on ours, I'm gonna use some basil pesto that we have made previously. Some sausage.
Now for the kids, I'm just gonna do a bit of cheese, maybe a lot of cheese.
Gonna add some blanched broccoli. Just gonna give it a coarse little chop.
On top of the kids' pizza, I'm also gonna put just a little sprinkling of herbs just to give it a little bit of extra color.
And I will finish ours up with some sun-dried tomatoes, some fresh basil.
Now, pizza peel is a great tool to have. It makes it a lot easier to be able to use. You can just slide it underneath. Kids' pizza in the barbecue. let you peel that up for me. No pun intended. There we go. Excellent. Okay.
Wait. Gotta catch these toppings. Okay.
Toppings are the best part of a pizza. Oh. There we are.
Thank you. Let's try it. That sausage is good.
And the pesto is a nice change from the regular tomato sauce as well, too.
Agreed.
You mean nice after this?
What?
A sweet treat.
Agreed. I love this dessert. We're gonna make some bourbon glazed pineapple on the barbecue. This is my go-to dessert. It's my favorite because it's just so delicious and it's cheap. Like, it's pineapple, and we're gonna serve it with some ice cream, and who doesn't love ice cream and pineapple? So to the butter, I'm just gonna add some brown sugar, half a cup. Stir that around. So I'm just gonna add some bourbon to the sauce. Yeah. So, and yes, I'm gonna be feeding it to my kids, so it's okay to feed the sauce to my kids because we're cooking the alcohol. So some of the alcohol content will cook off.
Most of the alcohol content will cook off.
Pinch of cloves and some grated cinnamon. And that's it.
How fancy can I get with this pineapple? Do I have the time?
Sure.
Okay. One thing that I enjoy doing, kind of a test of my knife skills, is take out each and every single one of these little marks right here. Now, if you want to just cut off more of the pineapple, you can, but then you're wasting a lot of money because that's good stuff that you could be eating. So I take an extra little bit of time and I'll go through like this. Now, sometimes, depending on how much you cut off, as you can see here, you don't need a whole lot of it to be trimmed off anymore, but other times you have larger marks like this, and it gets a little gritty and hard to eat. So if you can cut those out, that's fantastic. Now, the way the pineapple grows, it actually has a natural spiral to it, and so you can see here, if I had better skills, I could probably just do a single cut as I turn the pineapple around and take it all out. Is that sauce almost ready?
It's ready.
So I guess I need to hurry up then. All right, so we're just going to get moving on this. Well, I'll let you go ahead and get started on those ones, Jen, if you'd like, and I'll just finish off this last half here.
Sure. While those are on, I'm just gonna brush some of this glaze onto the pineapple.
Oh, you can hear that searing goodness already. Those look fantastic. Look at those grill marks, they look perfect. One scoop or two?
One, please. For you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey!
Oh.
Too late. Cheers.
Isn't it just so good?
Mm-hmm. I like the mint too. It's a nice touch.
Do you think that we should save some for the kids?
Nah, they need enough supper.